Lights, camera. Let's get into it. Hello, my loves. Today I'm going to talk about something that is very important to me, and that is how to go from sleepless nights, tossing and turning, insomnia, to getting your best sleep ever. 30% of adults suffer from insomnia in this digital day and age due to blue light exposure, overstimulation, and mental health. The list goes on. And that was me until I really figured out nighttime routine that helped me wind down and go from having restless nights, waking up with racing thoughts and just not a good night's sleep, to having a restful night and waking up refreshed. So I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've added to my nighttime routine that have really helped, because having a restful night for me is the first step towards having a productive day as an entrepreneur. And if I don't have a good night's sleep, I'm just going to be a hot mess the next day. So let's get into it. Having poor sleeping habits can lead to brain fog, memory loss, weight gain, to even chronic health problems and aging skin, and we don't want that. So let's get into some of the habits that I've changed. I'm someone with anxiety, and I'll have a hard time falling asleep because I have so many things on my mind. And then sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night with racing thoughts all about my to-do list or stresses that are in my life currently, and just not being able to fall asleep. And it was so frustrating to me. Then I started learning about something called our circadian rhythm. Circadian rhythm is our internal clock that tells us when it's time to sleep and when it's time to be alert and awake. And lightness and darkness really affect our circadian rhythm. So when the sun comes out, our body knows that it's time to be awake. And when the sun goes down, it's dark outside, our body starts to wind down and releases a hormone called melatonin that helps our body rest. It's really hard in this day and age because we have screens, we have our TV, everyone has their phone, and we have that 24/7 where we're constantly seeing this blue light that's signaling our bodies to stay awake. And really regulating your circadian rhythm helps with our sleep, our mental health, our metabolism. So if we're not getting regular sleep, then you might start packing on the pounds. And our immune health. So I know when I wasn't getting good sleep and I was working in an office, I had to wake up really early in the morning. It was hard for me to fall asleep at night because I had this anxiety. I would get sick. I would be sick the entire winter. So our circadian rhythm is very important for our body's functions. And that's why having regular sleep cycles, regular eating times, and exposure to light during the daytime is so important for our overall health. So some of the things that I've started doing to help support my circadian rhythm is after dinner, after I'm done in the evening, I start dimming all the lights. And by the time we sit down to eat dinner, I do not have the lights on super bright, just starting the process of preparing my body to wind down. Another thing I started doing is starting my nighttime skincare routine earlier. So it's just kind of my own me time where I'm just by myself, relaxing and taking care of myself and giving me that time to help me wind down for the night. For me, and I don't know about you, but I like to watch my YouTube videos. I like to watch a show with my husband before we go to bed. And so it is best if you can manage your screen time and, not watch things during later at night. Because I know we kind of like to have our nighttime routine watching a show together, I have these glasses that I got from Amazon. It was like $13 for a 3-pack, and I look so silly in the evenings, but these are my blue blocking glasses. So after I finish my skincare routine and I'm going to watch a show with my husband, I put on these glasses. So I'm blocking out all the blue light, and so that is gonna help too. For some people, they just don't do screens at nighttime, but it's kind of something we do together, is watch shows. So I don't know, if that's what you like to do too, then I would highly recommend getting some blue blocking glasses. It's been very helpful for me. And by this time, all the lights are off. There are none of the main lights are on. Only thing that can be on is lamps. I like to use my salt lamps. It's just a very warm tone. You don't want blue lights anywhere. The next thing I stopped doing is drinking my afternoon coffee. I have a new coffee machine that I'm obsessed with. It's an automatic espresso machine, and I definitely need my coffee in the morning. And for a while I was doing iced coffee with lunch, but I've switched to, this is a London Fog. So I take Earl Grey, and it still does have caffeine in it, but I don't know about you, coffee gives me the jitters. When I drink tea with caffeine, it doesn't so much. So I don't know what that is, but I've just switched to teas in the afternoon, so I don't get the afternoon jitters. It doesn't keep me up at night. I don't know about you, but when I do have a second cup of coffee, I get jittery. I don't feel good. I definitely feel like I need to drink a lot more water. So afternoon tea instead of coffee has been helpful. And another thing I drink in the evenings is magnesium. This has been a game changer for me because magnesium has really helped me once I have my magnesium tea. And I've tried it a couple different ways. I've tried it with a hot tea. That's kind of what I prefer, and it feels like a soothing drink at nighttime. I've tried it with the tart cherry juice mixed with this and ice. And my mom actually told me, if you're gonna do this cold, you need to let it sit for 15 minutes. But if you dissolve it in warm water or hot water, then you can drink it right away for the best effects. But this has been a game changer for me. I like to drink it in a hot tea, so I can just cozy up. Sometimes I'll even make a chamomile tea and then add this to that. Chamomile is also one of my favorite drinks to drink at nighttime. I love to get the organic chamomile tea from Trader Joe's. It's just so soothing to me and just feels so cozy. So a hot beverage at nighttime with magnesium, highly recommend. There's a lot of different brands. Just make sure, my friend said she got a different kind that actually made her go to the bathroom really bad. So make sure, the one I have, I'll link it on Amazon. But that has been extremely helpful. Once I drink it, I just feel so relaxed, and within 30 minutes I'm like, okay, I'm ready for bed. I don't know about you, I don't know if I just haven't tried the right kind, but I've tried melatonin and it just makes me feel super groggy in the morning. Every single melatonin I've tried THC, and I just wake up feeling foggy, and yeah, maybe I slept really well, but I also want to wake up feeling refreshed. So those haven't been helpful for me. But one thing that magnesium does, it helps regulate our natural melatonin in our body. So, and they say that most people are deficient in magnesium, so we should all be taking magnesium. Magnesium also helps with heart health, reduced anxiety, mood regulation, and muscle relaxation. So it's just all around. I highly recommend, if you're having trouble sleeping, you need to start taking magnesium at nighttime. Do your own research. There's tons of different brands, but this is just the one that has worked for me. Okay, so by this time, you know, I've had my magnesium tea. I'm done watching my shows with my husband. I have my blue walking glasses on, and I come upstairs to brush my teeth and get ready for bed. So I brush my teeth, and if you are someone who clenches or grinds your teeth, I highly recommend this for you. Fun fact, I worked in the dental field for so long. I started when I was in high school, and then up until 4 years ago. So I highly recommend, if you are someone, if you wake up with a sore jaw, you're clenching, you're grinding your teeth, I highly recommend you go to your dentist, and you can start with just what they call an Essex retainer. It's a clear retainer that covers all your teeth. Some people, if it's really severe, you have TMJ and things, then you're gonna want to get maybe a night guard. But for me, I'm a clencher, I'm a grinder, and I have a retainer that I wear at nighttime, and I'm telling you, it helps me sleep. The first time I wore it, it felt very strange, but now I cannot sleep without it, and I have the best night's sleep when I wear my retainer. So if that's you, if you clench or grind your teeth, I highly recommend going to your dentist and talking to them about your jaw issues, and if getting a retainer or something that can be just between your teeth while you sleep, or maybe even a night guard, I highly recommend. So then I get into bed, and one of the things I don't do, even though I have my blue blocking glasses, when you're watching these videos on like Instagram or TikTok, they're super fast paced, everything's happening within seconds, they're made to kind of keep your attention. So I just recommend not scrolling right before you go to bed, and instead read a book. For me, I have associated with reading with sleep, so I'm not the person that it will keep you up. I know for some people, once you start reading, you get really into it. For me, I start reading and then I'm just like, okay, it's nighttime. So that's just me. But reading before bed instead of scrolling, overall, it's just gonna be better for you. And then I also don't like to scroll first thing in the morning because then that sets the tone for your day. Your brain is gonna want more like overstimulating things like that all throughout the day. So in the mornings, just journaling. When you're in bed, try not to scroll. I know that's what a lot of people do, but if you're having trouble sleeping, if you're having trouble paying attention to things, then I actually plug my phone in kind of across the room so it's not even right next to me, so I'm not tempted. If you are a really light sleeper like me, I highly recommend a face mask. I really like this one because even if I have lashes, is kind of pushed away from my face and it's very soft, this blocks out any bit of light. For me, this is something that I have to use. It helps me fall asleep faster. There's no distractions. If you know a car drives by and you see lights, I am the lightest sleeper, so this has been really helpful for me. I'll link this one on Amazon, but there's so many different ones. I also use these on the plane. That's the only way I can sleep on the plane. It just has to be completely pitch black. I also can't sleep with music. My husband music would help him fall asleep. It's the complete opposite for me. If music is on, I'm like thinking about, it's just too much stimulation for me to fall asleep. My husband's someone who can literally lay down, lay on his pillow, and he's asleep in like 5 seconds. So I always make sure to go to bed before him because if I hear him making any noise, I'll wake up and it's gonna take me longer to fall asleep. And then the next thing I do, I have an app that plays, some people like a white noise or a fan. I'm fine with that, but something about this rain sound, and I don't know if it's because I'm Pacific Northwest, but this sound helps me fall asleep every time. And it can't be like there's another one that has like a storm or a waterfall. No, just the rain sound just puts me to sleep every time. I'll link this app below. It's free and it just plays the rain sound all through the night. I think it can set how long it plays, and I have it going for a few hours. This may sound like a lot to you, but for someone who struggles with sleeping, you kind of need to do all these things and kind of figure out, you know, what works for you, but you have to set the stage to help your body wind down. Another thing I stopped doing, and this one was a tough one because for a while I would like to have a glass of wine before I go to sleep, but I'm not really drinking alcohol anymore. Once in a blue moon, it just does not help with my anxiety or help me sleep at all. It actually makes those both worse. I might fall asleep, but I don't know if it's like the sugars. I don't feel good, and most of the time if I have a drink, I will wake up in the middle of the night, I'm sweating, I'm anxious, and I just don't feel good. So that's another thing that I've cut out of my nighttime routine, just mostly out of my life, only once in a blue moon while I have a drink. I've created just the most soothing, cozy nighttime routine that I just really look forward to it every night. And it starts by dinner time. After dinner, I'm winding down, I'm preparing my body to go to sleep. And I cherish my sleep so much, just from someone who struggled with sleeping and knowing how much better I feel when I do get a good night's sleep. So that's why this is so important to me, especially running my business, making sure that everything is done. I have to be on my A game. I hope this video was helpful, and it sounds like a lot, so I would just start by adding one thing to your nighttime routine, and then slowly you can add another until you found a routine that really works for you. And if you have any other tips for what has helped you fall asleep or stay asleep and have a restful night, comment them below because I want to hear about it. And if videos around productivity, mindset, entrepreneurship, and online business are interesting to you, watch this video next where I do a day in the life of an entrepreneur, and subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos. See you next week.